Hi, I'm Sue. Today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome and how to feel like you're an authority in your own life. Too often we feel like other people have things so much more put together and that we're just pretending to be competent. Today we're going to talk about how to deal with that kind of imposter syndrome and feel confident in whatever you are choosing to do. How do I know about imposter syndrome? I homeschooled my kids for a really long time. And, meanwhile, other people were having paid jobs and careers. And it took me a long time to really feel like I had any authority or skills. And I know that's not fair. And we really should value motherhood in our society a lot more, and the kind of skills that we get from nurturing and taking care of each other. But it's taken me this long to really feel like I've got something to say. And so here I am, and we're going to talk about authority and imposter syndrome and how to be confident. The first step is to realize that vulnerability is not incompetence. Why does it seem like it's only the assholes who walk around with a undefeatable sense of authority? If you make mistakes, you're uncertain, you're worried, a feeling of vulnerability does not mean that you aren't good at what you do and that you aren't valuable. Often it's the opposite. If you have doubts, if you're unsure, that means you have a certain amount of care about what you do and about who you're doing it for. And while it may not necessarily to you come across as authority, that kind of authority is valuable and possibly more approachable and believable to other people. Point 2 is recognizing that you've really earned everything that you have. It's easy to think that it was luck, that you just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But even luck, you gotta recognize luck and do something about it in order to benefit from it. There are so many ways to F up in this life, so many mistakes you can make. It's easy to see the mistakes. It's not easy to see the ones that you didn't make. And getting to where you are now was a long series of right choices and bravery and knowledge and just honest appreciation of what is there for you. And that is valuable. There's authority in that. Point 3 is stop being such a darned perfectionist. There is always better that you can do. There's always some other qualification, some class, something you might have said that would have been way more credible than whatever just came out of your mouth. It's okay. Don't let, what do they say? Don't let, and here I'm going to possibly botch this, don't let the best be the enemy of the good. Do the best that you can in any situation. However well you do it, that's just you, and that's okay. Point 4 is there's proof. There's always some kind of proof of your authority and your value. It's easy to forget. It's easy to only see the long list of ways in which you've screwed up or the things that you haven't done. We underestimate our own value all the time. Ask somebody else. Ask anybody else, and they'll probably think you're crazy for doubting your own value. If there isn't anybody to ask, get a journal, get a pen, write it down, make a list of the at least 10 ways in which you're freaking awesome, and read that whenever you're thinking you're not freaking awesome. Finally, if you're worried about whether people think you have any right to be putting yourself out there, nobody cares. Nobody cares whether you're qualified or unqualified, or how many degrees you have, or how many books you've read on any subject. People are worried about themselves. They're worried what people will think of them. When I'm watching a video on YouTube, I'm not worried about does somebody have a medical degree, or are they qualified to be saying what they're saying? Yeah, if I'm looking for a medical opinion or a very specific recommendation on something, I might. But most of the time, what really matters to me is, are you interesting? Do you have something to say? Do you resonate with me? Are you being honest? Are you saying something meaningful? Can I watch you for 20 minutes while I'm finishing knitting a hat? The standards are not nearly as high as you think they are. Let's do a quick tarot reading to help us figure out how to deal with this. I like doing circular past, present, future readings because our challenges are not always linear and usually they're quite cyclical. Here we start with the Devil, which is about either addictions or comforts that we return to at the expense of our freedom or any necessary change. And predictably, here we go to Death, which is not death, but transformation, a change in the ego. And moving forward into the future, we have Three of Pentacles, which is creation, making things happen. So what's happening here is a relatively common cycle of going back to what we think of ourselves, our own limiting beliefs.